Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. And if you're new to this channel, the whole intention of this channel is to help you to realize that you are complete and total at all times, and that in truth, we are at the effect of absolutely nothing. So in today's video, what I really wanted to talk about was how to transcend the feeling of loneliness. I feel like loneliness is a feeling that's very powerful for many individuals out there nowadays, and a lot of people struggle with it on a regular basis. People feeling disconnected, or feeling like they don't belong, or feeling like they don't have any friends, or they have no love in their life, no relationship. So how can we overcome and transcend this feeling of loneliness? So the ways that I think we avoid truly working on this issue is we're constantly keeping ourselves entertained through watching endless TV shows, watching movies, constantly having to stay busy, or utilizing or abusing drugs and alcohol. So when we let go of these distractions to have to constantly fill our consciousness with content, we can decide to sit down one night when you have an open, free night. Allow yourself to sit down for about 3 hours, and the technique that you use to overcome loneliness once and for all is to let go of resisting the feeling of loneliness. So how this technique works is you sit down, and you can do it with eyes open, or you could close your eyes. But what you do is you allow the feeling of loneliness to be present. Just welcome it, allow it to be there, let go of resisting it, and just observe this sensation slash feeling of loneliness. And in my own experience, it took about 3 or 4 hours of just sitting there in sort of a meditative state, sort of a meditative slash contemplative state. But when you truly just sit down and let go of resisting this feeling of loneliness, you do eventually transcend it once and for all. So in my own experience, about 6 or 7 years ago, I was walking around just in this constant state of loneliness. I lived in a small town with not that many people my age, and the whole love life thing felt hopeless. I didn't have that many guy friends my age either, and I was just sort of walking around this feeling of loneliness, and just felt like I wanted to cry like all the time. It just got really intense. And I was aware of this technique that was given to me by my spiritual teacher, Dr. David Hawkins. And so what I did one night, I was sitting there eating dinner. I just felt like I wanted to cry because I felt so alone. So I was like, you know what? I'm so tired of feeling this way. And instead of resisting it, what I did was I allowed myself to sit down. I went outside. I had a little nice area outside, and it was around like 6 or 7 p.m. at night. I sat down and I closed my eyes, and for 3 hours straight, I let go of resisting this feeling and the sensation of loneliness. I just welcomed it. I said yes to it. I just sat there, and you just be with the sensation of it. And if you sit there and do this continuously, what you're doing is you're allowing all of this feeling to come up and just sort of dissipate like smoke coming through a chimney. It's like there's only so much of it within yourself, and as you keep allowing it to come up and just letting it pass through, and as you keep doing this technique, you realize that it does eventually run out. So, and then after about 3 hours, this feeling dissipated, and I was left with like an inner feeling of peace and sort of serenity and just this calm equanimity. And never again to this day have I experienced loneliness. And that might not be the case for everybody. It may arise again at some point in your life, but again, what you do is you just sit down and you utilize this technique again. You let go of resisting it, you say yes to it, you allow it to come up, and you really just be with that feeling of loneliness. And if you do this continuously, eventually it disappears. And because in truth and in reality, there is no such thing as loneliness. Loneliness in the perspective of truth is a concept that has no reality, because all there is oneness, unity, complete and totalness. And we realize that we're actually life itself, so that's why it has no reality. But instead of just telling you that, because I feel like just sharing the truth, that, you know, I could easily just say, oh, well, in truth, there's no such thing as being alone, because you're this oneness. But, you know, that oneness is not experiential for everybody. So, and in my own view, we don't have to focus on necessarily the truth. All we have to do is let go of that which is false. So as we keep letting go of that which is false, the truth will just shine forth. So it's like the more we let go of the clouds and let go of these clouds, We don't have to create the sunlight. The sunlight's already shining right this moment. But when you remove the clouds, the sunlight becomes apparent and obvious. So anyways, try utilizing this technique. If you happen to be somebody that struggles with loneliness, take 3 hours of your night and just decide to sit down and let go of resisting the sensation and just be with it, welcome it, say yes to it, and do this continuously. And I guarantee you that your loneliness will disappear for good. So anyways, thanks for listening, guys, and hope you have a good rest of the day. All right, see ya.